What just happened? I'm Dan. That's Jules. Only Murders in the Building is back for season 4, and today we're covering episode 1 called Once Upon a Time in the West. So, RIP, Sazz Patatsky, she's dead. And this episode, the
I'm
group
so
finds out,
sad.
little by little that she's gone. And by the end, we get that reveal. So, we're going to go through the episode. We're going to talk about some
That was
theories.
heartbreaking.
That was
Ugh.
tough. That was tough.
I don't know why, but for some reason, him just finding her joint replacements was so much sadder than him like finding her.
Yeah, they burned her body.
I don't know
It's
what it
fucked
is.
up. They burned her body. That's so fucked up.
That crushed me.
Yeah, it's horrible. By the way, we're doing a giveaway once we hit 5,000 subscribers. We're giving away $75 on Venmo, and you can have half off on anything you want in our merch store. We're going to hit it during Only Murders in the Building, so participate, comment, and you got a good chance to win. Let's get into it. Season 4 is here. I'm so excited. This is one of my favorite shows to cover. It kicks off with a monologue by Charles talking about movies, but he's actually recording the final episode of the podcast for their season about Ben Glenroy's death.
Ben Glenroy lives on. We conclude yet another season of Only Murders in the Building.
So that's the setup. Power goes out, comes back on, and I love when the power comes back on, he's like, give me a...
And action.
And then he goes,
Ben Savage.
Like, that's got to be my new warm-up. This group has amazing chemistry. Mabel says they got an email about their podcast. That comes up later, so we'll talk about it. It's a huge part of the episode. And then they go upstairs to Charles's place, and he goes,
oh my God, there she is.
And at first, they're dancing around finding Sazz. And I'm like, are they going to see her on the ground dead? But if her body was moved, it was put in the incinerator. We find that out later. So he was talking about the wine, and then Mabel goes,
oh shit. I hope these spots don't stain.
And I thought she was talking about the blood, but she was talking about the wine.
Oh, yeah.
But she saw blood on the stove.
She noticed it. Yeah, she noticed it.
She saw blood on the stove, and it's like they were dancing around it, that whole scene. And it's like, all right, are they going to find her? Like, at this point, I didn't know she was moved. Did you have any feeling at all?
No, I was really confused. I was like, how have they been standing here for this long?
Yeah.
They have not seen her yet. And I'm like,
yeah,
who does all this stuff in the dark like that?
Yeah, right. Seriously. Yeah. It made sense that she was moved. So this is when I wrote down, I was like, they still haven't found Sazz. It's the next morning. And I was like, oh, I guess they moved her. It finally clicked in my head. Of course they would have found her if she didn't get moved. So Oliver comes in with the news that Death Rattle Dazzle got canceled because obviously Donna and Cliff hold their funding because they have to represent themselves in court for murder and conspiracy and covering that up and all that other shit they're going to have to deal with. Be cool to see a scene with those two in this season. Sometimes they pull older characters back in. We'll see. Cinda Canning always comes back, but, we haven't seen Poppy or other characters like that. But I wonder, Tobert, he'll be back. Tobert's definitely going to be back.
Tobert.
He'll make an appearance.
I don't know about that.
He's supposed to be in LA. Remember last season? He said he has a job in LA.
Oh, that's true. But they're going back to New York. So
they went back to New York already, but maybe they'll go back and forth. Who knows? They got this movie deal. Then Oliver drops right to the spot where Sazz was shot and killed. And I thought that was
eerie.
Yeah, it was eerie. It was eerie to see that because he was like, she dropped dead right here. And that's where Sazz died. So that was wild. Then Howard comes back in, everybody's favorite character. Whenever he's in a scene, it's funny. He's got a new puppy.
Everybody say hello to Gravy.
Named Gravy, but he spelled it wrong, on purpose. So that's Howard for you. They won't let him get any more cats.
The shelter won't let me adopt any more cats. Apparently I'm on a list.
Well, I mean, understandable. I'm not sure why they allowed him to adopt a dog on top of that, but
Hey, dog comes in handy.
I was going to say, Gravy's going to be the MVP this episode, so.
Yeah, Gravy was sniffing around. You could tell that something was up. He was sniffing where the blood was. And then later on, he leads them to the incinerator. So, yeah, he came in handy. So we'll see if he comes in handy more. So Bev Mellon, this is the person that's been reaching out to them. She's from Paramount Studios, and she wants to make a movie about their podcast. Charles is worried about Sazz because of what she said to him at the end of last season. There's something real important I need to talk to you about, and it's time sensitive. So he's like really worried about her. He doesn't know if he wants to go. And also he keeps hearing whistling.
All morning, I have been hearing this whistling sound.
Which comes into play later on in the episode. Whistling comes back into play. Then he gets a text from Sazz, but it's really from the murderer, which is cool. Because all 3 seasons, we've never had the murderer have direct contact with the trio before. And now we do. So he's like, I had to cover Bacula in LA. So, all right, let's go to LA. And then they go.
Pack your bags, bitches. We're going to Hollywood.
And it turns out Molly Shannon is the actress playing Bev.
I'm Bev Mellon, your persistent emailing maven. So nice to meet all of you.
And I wonder, Jules, in this scene where we're meeting all these new people, is the murderer in that room? Could be. Could be. That's something that this show does.
That's very true. That's very
like,
true.
Every other season, we've met the murderer in episode 1. So it could be right there, right in front of you. Speculation, comment down below.
True.
What do you think?
It's Bev.
So, yeah, that would be wild if it was Bev. I doubt it.
I don't know why it's Bev, but it's Bev.
I think it was like that assistant guy. I'll put him up on the screen. He gave me the creeps. So we'll see. But speculation is going to start, and we'll start making our predictions like week 2 or 3. We'll see. So the meeting starts, and they meet the brother sisters who are going to be directing the film. And it's pretty fun. Their last name's Brother, and they're sisters.
Your brothers? We're sisters.
Your brothers?
We're sisters.
Yeah, they seem really fun and interesting. So I'm excited to see that.
We're the brothers, sisters.
To see them in more scenes. So they have a cast already. Shooting starts in 3 weeks. They just need their life rights.
That is so wild to me.
Yeah, right.
They're like, we got all this done on the off chance that these people want to sign their lives away.
Yeah, we're like, we need it to release by Christmas. So yeah, shooting starts in 3 weeks. Just sign your lives away. And Charles writes down a number on paper, awkwardly tosses it across the table, ends up blowing it. It was so awkward. And it just has a number 4.
I love him so much. 4,
just
just
number 4.
It's just a 4.
And he's like 4,400 million. Like just pure Charles. Fantastic. But Mabel needs a moment.
She may want a 6.
That's what they said. So Mabel feels hurt about the way they described her.
Well,
Homeless,
yeah, I don't
jobless.
blame her. They're like, you're this little piece of shit millennial
Yeah.
hanging out with these old dudes because you're a loser. No. Rude.
But when they said mumbling, then they were like, can you repeat that? Can you repeat what you just said?
Speak up, dear. I can't hear you. I missed that last part.
It was so good. And someone in our Discord said she's the new Marble Mouth because she kind of talks like that sometimes. So
She does, but I love her, so don't you dare.
So if you watch our presumed innocent videos, you know what that means. She needs time to think, but Loretta is going to be at the party that they're going to go to later on. So he's still worried about Sazz. He wants to stop by her place. He's like,
Well, actually, Sazz's apartment complex belongs on a Hollywood tour.
so they get in and out. They get in the limo with the coughing Sydney, the coughing limo driver.
Is Sydney alive?
Who's coughing up a lung the entire time. So they get to her place, and you can tell she's not there because there's a bunch of boxes, bunch of mail. They peek in through this mail slot. There's dead flowers. So it's obvious she hasn't been there in a while, right? They're like, Charles, stop worrying so much. He's like, oh, I'm fun. Because that's what they said about him, that he's like a worried turtle. That's how they described him earlier.
Unfun.
Unfun turtle, yeah.
I think he's very fun.
Right. Me too. So he's like, all right, let's go. They go to the party. And then we meet the cast of the movie. So Eugene Levy's playing Charles, Eva Longoria is playing Mabel, and Zach Galifianakis is playing Oliver.
Oh my God, stop it right now.
Pretty funny.
Just the cast in this first episode was so great.
Yeah.
I
They
love
always
Zach Galifianakis.
Oh, and he was so funny, man.
He's like, you're trying to between two ferns me right now.
Yeah.
I see what you're doing. People do this. You're trying to between two ferns me.
Yeah. I was in the number 2 highest grossing comedy of all time, bro. Yeah, it was great. Eva Longoria tells Mabel they aged her up because focus groups found the age gap creepy. So that's why she's playing her. But I love how she was the whole episode. She's like, yeah, we're not that far apart. We're not that far apart.
Same age.
She looks great, though. She looks
When I was your
fantastic.
age a couple years ago.
A couple years ago, yeah.
I mean, she is smoking hot.
Plus, we're basically the same age. I mean, look at us.
Yeah, she looks great. Yeah.
But
yeah.
not the same age. Sorry.
So Meryl Streep is back. Loretta is back.
Oh, my God. Look at you.
That's awesome. She got a new show. So
I
she's
love
out in
her.
LA. She's shooting her new show in LA. And yeah, this is the part where Eva Longoria says,
When I was your age, a couple years ago,
she's like, look, you're worried about giving away your likeness. What I did when I got money is I started all of these new projects. You know, I got a tequila brand, all this shit. So ask for a big number, and then you can start your own projects and do what you want. There you go. Ask for a big
Which,
number.
like,
Nothing to worry about. Good advice.
isn't terrible advice.
Yeah, good advice.
Because I mean, like, I get not wanting to like sell yourself out, but
yeah, you can do your own thing.
I mean,
after
that's
that.
kind of hard to pass up because it's like,
Yeah.
you get your name out there, you get money, and you were able to actually do things that you want to do.
Whatever you want. Yeah, do whatever the hell you want. So it's cool. So yeah, good advice. And then she actually does follow through with that. So Charles is still worried about Sazz, thinks he sees her. We'll come back to that in a second. And then Loretta opens up to Oliver saying, hey, I want you to move out to LA. He says he hopes he can keep up with her because, you know, she's on this new show and everything. She says she's so in love with him. They're so sweet together. I wish they were together in real life. It seemed like he was going to propose. Did you get that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I
that's what
think
he
they
was gonna
did that
do.
on purpose.
Yeah, that was for sure on purpose. Yeah.
Loretta, will you?
What? Would I what?
But then he goes, I need time to think about going to LA, but I love you too. So very sweet. And then this is when Mabel goes to talk to Bev. The writer is there observing. He cracks me up. He's like,
Oh,
I'm putting
he's
that.
so funny.
I'm putting that line in the movie. Yeah, it was so good.
Jesus, that's going in the script. Shit, sorry. Fly wall.
And then she
Amazing.
passes a note over to Bev. This is what it's going to take for my life rights. This is what it's going to take. And then we get back to
Wait,
Charles.
question. How
Yeah.
much do you think it was?
I'd say like 10 mil. That's a good number.
10 mil.
Yeah, that's
I
fair.
think that's pretty good.
You're good. A couple M's, you're good. So
Give
I'm
me
sure
all
she-
the mills you got, buddy.
I'm sure she's taken care of. So this is when Charles sees Scott Bakula. He's dating Joy now, and it's not Sazz. He thought it was Sazz, and he goes, "How's Joy?" And she's great. Oh, she just sent me a photo. Oh, I can't show you this photo. So that's still being rubbed in his face. It's cool that
Oh,
they
yeah.
got Scott Bakula to act in this, and it's cool that they had Sazz be both of their background actors because
Yeah.
he's so similar looking to both of them. So it really works. And I'm glad that he agreed to this cameo. But he goes, no, I haven't seen Sazz.
She was supposed to double me on this pilot we shot last week, but she never showed.
That's not like her.
You know, he's super worried this whole time. And then this is when Mabel goes up to Oliver. He's about to jump off of the building saying, don't worry, no pressure. And he's like threatening to jump off the roof. And she has champagne. She's like, let's celebrate,
Okay.
but can't celebrate too soon because Charles says he's got news and it's not the fun kind.
Not the fun kind.
They go to Sazz's. They break into her house. And then we see all of the replacements that she's had, like bone replacements, right? That's what it was.
Yeah.
And,
Like
and they said it
joints and stuff.
only from Bulgaria,
Apparently the best ones come from Bulgaria. She only gets them from there.
which comes into play later. So then they find a bunch of shit on her desk. And I think all of that is going to be clues. They need to go back
Yeah.
and scour that desk. And
Yeah, that's
she
it's
was
going to be
writing.
something to do with what she had to tell him.
Yes, 100%. Because you saw the Arconia. There's something. They got to go through that. They got to go back. I'm surprised they didn't right then and there, but I'm sure that
Right.
they will at some point go back and go through that evidence. Something is going to matter on those files on her desk.
Mhm.
So then Lester calls and he's like, look, I can't replace your window today. I'll do it tomorrow. I saw your note about changing it. So the murderer slipped a note about changing the window so he wouldn't
Wild.
notice. And he goes, wait, I
Wild.
didn't ask for that. What
Yeah,
is
could you imagine if it just
Yeah.
like there wasn't an issue with it and that
Yeah,
they
they never
just
noticed.
replaced the window?
Yeah.
That's it?
So he goes, there's a whistle coming out. Can you hear it? And that's the whistle that Charles had been hearing all along. So he's
Which
not
like
going
I
crazy.
feel like I would not have like done anything with my day until I figured out what that damn whistling noise was.
Yeah, right. Just like need to
Like
figure
I don't
it
know
out.
if it's just me, but like I wouldn't have been able to do anything until I figured it out.
Yeah,
I-
like I'll go to
like-
LA once I figure this out. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. So he asks if it's a bullet hole. He goes, no, maybe. I don't know. He don't touch that fucking window.
Lester, don't touch that window.
And they're like, all right, we got to go back to New York. This like you can see Mabel and Charles put it together.
Well, and
because-
like I loved the whole like gravy thing that they did
Yeah.
with the dog's name.
yeah,
Like, no, it's Grave E. He was a cadaver dog.
yeah,
Amazing.
and that's when Mabel gets the face like, oh shit,
Oh my God, you guys.
What? We need to get back to New York.
and
Well,
Charles
and that's
gets
why
the
I
face.
love. Yeah,
same
I
time.
love the writing in this show because they do just little nuanced things like that, and it's just it
Yeah.
works so well.
Yeah, it really did. So they both figured out Oliver's not on the same mindset, but he's like, all right, let's go back to New York. Loretta, I'll see you in a little bit. Charles texts the murderer. This isn't Sazz. We'll come back to that in a second. And then in comes Howard's dog, smelling, sniffing. And then you see Mabel looking at the blood. They look at the window. They see the hole in the window. And they're like, oh, shit. So then the
Yeah.
dog leads them to the chute that leads down to an incinerator. And they're like, shit. So they go down to the incinerator, all ash, nothing but ash. Charles goes digging through and he finds the bone replacements that were made in Bulgaria. And that's how they know that Sazz has been killed.
Oh,
when they get the message, the murderer responds, "Not your fucking friend." So it's on. It's on.
Oh yeah. Like this,
great
whoever this is
episode.
means business.
Means business. And during our season 3 coverage, which if you're a part of that, thank you. During our season 3 coverage, a lot of people thought someone had been trying to kill Charles all along because of, the bag falling, the gas, all that stuff that happened to him.
And that makes sense. Yeah.
It does make sense. And, maybe mistaking Sazz for Charles when they shot Sazz, and then he had to get rid of the body so he can still go after Charles. So if you guys think Charles is in danger, let us know in the comments, but that could be, there's a lot of things that could happen. But all right, that's episode 1. I loved it. I think it's off to a great start. I'm so happy they didn't do a multi-episode drop this year.
Me too.
Come on, let us consume this weekly. Get into
bask
it.
in it.
Bask in it. Get into the mystery. So if you guys got any theories, they didn't give us much to work with yet, but Only Murders. They're gonna give you the answer. It's up to you to figure it out. We've done a great job solving the mysteries in the past seasons through the help of the commenters. So go wild. What do you think? Got any suspects? Let us know. But thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Later.
Bye, guys.
Power surge. That hasn't happened in a while.
Not since they banned the old incinerator.
Did you just say Oliver?
Oh, shit. What's his name?
Howard.
Thank you. What is Tina Fey's name in Only Burners in the Building?
Cinda.
Cinda. Yeah, Cinda. All right.
I remembered it like as we were fucking saying it. Sorry, I just have to tell you that I was Kiz is definitely gonna see me during this video look over and read one of the comments she just said in the Discord and just chuckle because she's talking about how I predicted the plate of cookies thing last season.
That's you gotta do it again. You gotta do it again this year.
What just happened?
What just happened?
What just happened?
What just happened? That just happened.